There's this strange paradox about life right now. We're more connected than any generation before us, yet somehow so many of us feel completely alone. Think about it. We have phones in our pockets that can reach anyone in the world in seconds. We scroll through endless timelines, watch countless stories, reply with quick reactions and emojis, and yet when it's time to turn off the screen, the silence in the room is deafening. For Gen Z, loneliness has become the background noise of our lives. Not the obvious kind of loneliness where you're literally alone all the time, but that quiet, invisible loneliness where you can be surrounded by people and still feel misunderstood. You can have hundreds of online connections and still wonder if anyone truly knows you. And the truth is, a lot of us don't admit it, because it feels embarrassing to say, "I'm lonely," when technically we're the most connected generation in history. But it's real, and it's exhausting. The digital illusion part of the problem is the way technology has rewired what connection even means. We grew up online. For us, friendships, relationships, communities, they often started through screens. That's not inherently bad. But the way the internet is built today doesn't nurture real closeness. It nurtures performance. Likes, comments, streaks, algorithms. It's all about being seen, not necessarily being understood. We're encouraged to show the best version of ourselves, the good skin day, the new outfit, the holiday photos, the achievement. But where do we go with the messy feelings? Where do we go with the nights we can't sleep, the panic attacks, the worry about money, the feeling of not being good enough? Posting those things feels like oversharing. People scroll past, engagement drops, and so we bottle it up. We curate ourselves into something presentable while underneath the loneliness quietly builds. Comparison culture. Then there's comparison. It's impossible not to compare your life to others when it's shoved in your face every single time you open your phone. Someone your age has already bought a house, someone else has a thriving business, another person has a six-pack, a perfect relationship, and somehow still finds time to travel the world. Meanwhile, you're sitting there struggling to even pay rent or trying to figure out how to afford your next grocery shop. That comparison doesn't just sting, it eats away at our sense of worth. We start believing that because we haven't made it by 20 or 25 or 30, we're behind, that we're failing. And the loneliness deepens because we assume we're the only ones feeling this way. But here's the truth, we're not. Most of the people you compare yourself to are also struggling, just in silence. They just don't post that part. The pressure to be everything. On top of it all, Gen Z carries this weight of expectation that feels unbearable sometimes. We're expected to be educated, financially stable, mentally healthy, socially active, politically aware, environmentally conscious, all while navigating a world that's more unstable than ever. Wages haven't kept up with living costs. Climate anxiety looms in the background. Mental health services are stretched thin. And yet the message we hear is, be resilient, be productive, stay positive. It's no wonder so many of us are tired before we even feel like our adult lives have started. It's no wonder so many of us feel disconnected, because the truth is it's hard to feel connected to a future when the present feels like a constant uphill climb. Loneliness in crowds. There's another layer too. Even when we're physically around people, at work, at uni, at a party, there can still be this emptiness. Like you're in the room but not really part of it. Like you're there physically but your mind is screaming, "No one here really sees me." That kind of loneliness is the hardest to explain because people will say, "But you have friends. You go out, you're not alone." And yet, you feel that ache anyway. It's not about proximity, it's about connection. And when we don't feel truly connected, we start to believe there's something wrong with us. That we're the problem. That we're not interesting enough, not funny enough, not worth knowing. But that's not true. The bigger picture, what we're experiencing isn't a personal failure, it's a generational one. Gen Z didn't just become lonely out of nowhere. We grew up in a fractured world. Communities that used to exist, neighborhoods where people knew each other, jobs where you stayed for decades, affordable clubs and hobbies, many of those things are gone. Instead, we're isolated in small flats, working unstable jobs, too broke or too tired to build community the way older generations did. We've been left with digital replacements that mimic connection, but rarely satisfy it. So if you feel lonely, if you feel drained, if you feel unseen, it's not because you're broken. It's because the structures that should support us simply aren't there anymore. Finding hope. But here's the part I don't want you to miss. Loneliness is not permanent. Even in this system, even in this fractured world, there are ways to create moments of real connection. Sometimes it starts small, replying honestly when someone asks how you are, reaching out to a friend you haven't spoken to in months, joining a group, even an online one, that actually shares your struggles, not just your highlight reel. Choosing quality over quantity when it comes to relationships. And most importantly, being honest with yourself, acknowledging that you feel lonely instead of burying it. Because when you name it, you can start to change it. You're not alone in feeling alone. If you're hearing this and thinking, that's me, know that you're not the only one. Millions of us feel this way. The quiet rooms, the endless scrolling, the weight of expectation, the comparisons that make us feel smaller. We're all dealing with it. And sometimes, the most healing thing you can do is remind yourself. This feeling isn't proof that you're broken. It's proof that you're human trying to navigate a world that often forgets what humans need. We need rest. We need connection. We need kindness. And those things don't come from hustling harder or faking perfection. They come from slowing down, reaching out, and daring to be real in a world built on appearances. So tonight or tomorrow, or the next time you feel the weight of loneliness pressing down on you, remember this. You're not the only one. You're not failing at life. You're not behind. You're human. And being human in this world is already hard enough. Give yourself credit for surviving. Give yourself grace for being tired. And give yourself hope that connection, real, meaningful connection, is still possible. Because you are not invisible. You are not broken. You are not alone. And even if it feels like it, sometimes, somewhere out there, someone understands exactly what you're going through.